Hey everyone, we are back to school this week, so I thought I would dive back into some light music theory. Today I want to talk about our different notes and rests. Note and rest values are all about math and fraction. Each smaller note is half the value of the previous. The largest note that I know of is called a brev. You might not have heard of it before because it's rarely used. In fact, it wouldn't fit in 4/4 time. It can look like this or like this, and its corresponding rest looks like this. The next smallest note is a whole note or whole rest. A brev is equal to two whole notes tied together. Next smallest is the half note and half rest. As the name suggests, a half note is half the value of a whole note. Next is a quarter note and quarter rest. A quarter note is half of a half note, or 1/4 of a measure. Up to this point, each note or rest has had its own distinctive shape. After this, they get less creative. This is our eighth note and eighth rest. This is half of a quarter note, and note the little flag. As the notes keep getting smaller, they just keep adding on more flags. So this is a 16th note and a 16th rest. It is half of an eighth note. This is a 32nd note and its rest. This is a 64th note. In theory, it can keep on going, but they are pretty uncommon. The most important thing to keep in mind is each smaller note is half of the larger note. Our next math problem is the dot. The dot after a note adds half of the value of what is in front of it. So our most common dotted notes are the dotted half and the dotted quarter. In 4/4 time, a dotted half note gets 3 beats because a regular half note gets 2 beats. Half of 2 is 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. A dotted quarter note gets 1 1/2 beats in 4/4 time because a quarter note gets 1 beat. Half of 1 is 1/2. 1 plus 1/2 is 1 1/2. So, quiz time. In 8/4 time, how many beats would a dotted whole note get? Did you say 6 beats? Very good. Now, how many beats would a double dotted whole note get? Think about it. You're in high school. You can do this. Did you say 7? Did you say 8? 9? Well, the correct answer is 7. Did I fool you? Remember, the dot adds half of what's in front of it. So the first dot adds half of the whole note. The second dot adds half of the first dot. So 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. In theory, a dot can be added after any note or rest, but most commonly you will see dotted half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. Triplets. Oh boy, let's go. So a triplet or a quadruplet or a fivelet or whatever is forcing a different feel into a piece of music. They're pretty intimidating, but once you learn the rules, they get a little easier and a little more logical. So here's how it works. Whatever the number is, usually 3 as in triplets, you are fitting that many notes into the space of the next larger note. An example might help. If you're looking at quarter note triplets, you are fitting 3 evenly sized notes into the space of a half note. Each of these notes will work out to be 1/6 of a measure in 4/4 time, or each note would work out to be 2/3 of a beat. Eighth note triplets would be fitting 3 even notes in the space of 1 quarter note, so each would be 1/3 of a beat. This can be done with any number of notes. Say we see 9 eighth notes under a bracket with the number 9 above it. This is fitting 9 evenly sized notes in the space of 1 quarter note. If we have 5 half notes under a bracket with the number 5 above it, we are fitting 5 evenly spaced notes into the space of a whole note. Make sense? Good. We'll leave it at that for today. I hope you learned something, and I hope I didn't make your brain hurt too much. See you next time.